You know, when you grab a jar of honey off the shelf, have you ever stopped to think about how it actually got in there? It seems pretty straightforward, right? But getting a thick, sticky liquid like honey into millions and millions of containers is a huge technological challenge. So today, let's dive into the amazing world of honey packaging.
So this is the big question, isn't it? The core of the problem is that honey is super viscous. It pours slowly, it's sticky, and that makes it really tough to handle cleanly and quickly on a huge scale. And the solution? Well, there isn't just one. It's a whole spectrum of technology, from the really simple stuff to the incredibly complex.
All right, let's start at the ground level. We're talking about the systems that are the workhorses for so many smaller honey businesses. This is where you see this amazing partnership between a person and a machine. It's called semi-automatic packaging, and it's all about human skill getting a boost from machine assistance.
And this right here is exactly what we mean by that partnership. The machine does the one thing it's great at, the repetitive, super precise job of putting the exact same amount of honey in every single time. But a person is still the one running the show, guiding the whole process from beginning to end. So the workflow is pretty simple to follow. The operator puts the jar in place, the machine does its magic and fills it up, and then the operator takes it out and screws the lid on. It's super effective, it's precise, especially for smaller batches, but you can already see the catch, right? The speed of the whole operation depends entirely on how fast that one person can work.
Right, and that's the key. Even with a fancy machine doing the filling, the final, really critical steps, getting that lid on just right and sealing it up, are often still done by hand. That reliance on manual labor becomes the major bottleneck if you ever want to scale things up.
When you put it side by side like this, the difference is just night and day. If you want to go from low volume to mass production, you absolutely have to cut down on that manual labor and crank up the speed. And to do that, you need a totally different kind of system.
Okay, now we're jumping to the big leagues. We're talking about fully integrated, automated production lines that are built for one thing: maximum efficiency and massive output. This is where honey packaging stops being a manual task and becomes this high-speed, perfectly synchronized piece of engineering.
So forget filling one jar at a time. These incredible systems can fill multiple jars all at once. We're talking 3, 5, sometimes even 6 jars getting filled with the perfect amount of honey in the exact same second. The jump in sheer output is just staggering. So, how does this whole symphony of automation work? Well, it's a complete system. You've got a conveyor belt that zips the empty jars into place. Then, a multi-nozzle filler dispenses with honey. Another machine swoops in to place the lids, and then a robotic capper presses or screws them on tight. It's this seamless flow from start to finish with almost no human supervision.
And that's really the whole point, isn't it? It's all about end-to-end automation. An empty jar goes in one side of the line, and what comes out the other end is a completely filled, sealed, and sometimes even labeled product, all ready to be shipped out to a store near you.
But all this incredible efficiency doesn't just mean we get more jars faster. It also opens the door to some really complex and creative packaging. You know, our demand for convenience has pushed technology in some wild new directions, leading to single-serving formats that are just perfect for our busy, on-the-go lives.
First up, we've got the honey spoon. I love this one. Here, the package literally is the utensil. A precise amount of honey, usually somewhere between 10 and 50 grams, is sealed right into a spoon-shaped plastic container. Pretty clever.
Next, there's the honey sachet. You've definitely seen these before for things like ketchup or mustard. It's the exact same idea. A small, flexible packet that's super easy to tear open for a single serving of honey. It's perfect for stirring into tea or drizzling on toast, and you get the perfect portion every time.
And finally, the honey stick. Some people call them honey straws. These are just thin, sealed plastic tubes filled with a quick shot of honey. They are unbelievably popular for a fast, mess-free little energy boost when you're out and about. You just snap it open and you're good to go. So who's actually using all these clever formats? Well, they're absolutely huge in the hospitality and food service industries. Think about hotels, schools, cafes. For them, it's all about perfect portion control and zero-mess convenience for their customers.
Now, you can't just use a regular jar-filling line for these. No way. Honey spoons, sachets, and sticks need totally specialized machinery. These are integrated lines that actually use plastic to form the unique shape, fill it with honey, seal it up with a foil lid, and then cut the individual packages apart, all in one continuous, incredibly fast process. It's a real feat of engineering to get that right on such a tiny scale.
So we've gone on this whole journey, from a single operator filling one jar at a time, all the way to these complex, automated lines churning out single-serve snacks. What does all this tell us about where the industry is heading?
I think the most important takeaway is just how diverse it all is. There's no single best way to package honey. The technology is completely tailored to the scale of the business, from a small local beekeeper all the way up to a massive global brand.
And that brings us to our last question. We've seen jars, spoons, sachets, and sticks. But as our demand for easy, convenient, on-the-go food just keeps growing, what clever new shape will honey take next? A dissolvable honey pod for your tea, maybe? What do you think is coming?